Today our reading is Psalm 30. Weeping may linger for the night, but joy comes in the morning. This is a psalm for everyone who can look back on a trial in life and give thanks for having come through it. Recovery from illness, or the removal of a threat, or the end of some danger. Perhaps the passing of a pandemic. The writer looks back and recalls those dark days, days when there was a close brush with death. You brought me up from Sheol. This was the abode of the dead, a shadowy, vague concept of death. At this time, there was no clear expectation of the kind of life after death which the Christian faith teaches. This life was the time to praise God and to experience the blessings of God. That's why the psalmist more than once cries, "Will the dust praise you?" Once we return to the earth, they thought we can no longer praise or glorify God. Surely then God would want to prolong our lives. The writer suggests that all God needs to do for us to suffer is to withdraw from us. You hid your face, and I was dismayed. The complacency of feeling safe was shattered in a moment. But I like that image. God is hiding. It's clear that God is still present but unseen, like the sun behind the clouds. We know the sun is there all the time. It just doesn't feel like it on a very dark, cold day. Think how wonderful it is taking off in an aeroplane on a dull day, cutting through those clouds and coming out above into the clear, bright blue sky and sunshine. I often think I must remind myself that it's always like this up here. A young child's security is in the close presence of her parents, and the child has to gradually learn that she is safe even when she can't see them. They're not far away, and one squeak will bring them to the cot immediately. The child learns to trust their parents and gradually tolerate longer times without seeing them in the room. Even Jesus experienced a sense of God's absence on the cross when he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Perhaps this was the first time that he who walked closer to God the Father than any other human felt this dereliction. You hid your face, and I was dismayed. As people of faith, this is our constant challenge. Do we trust God to be always there, always close, always loving, despite not always seeing the evidence? Despite things going wrong in our lives? Despite not feeling like we are close to God? Our feelings, after all, are rather less trustworthy than God. For many people, this is harder when we're on our own and easier when we gather to rejoice and worship together. And when we lift each other up, we gain encouragement and inspiration from each other. That's one good reason why you can't really be a lone Christian. We all need to tap into Christian community and fellowship, the church. One day we will be able to resume this togetherness and this mutual encouragement and building up of our faith. Weeping may last for the night, but joy comes in the morning.